5 reasons why your product is not selling. Hi guys, it's Sam Day here from DeyTips.com, and in this video I'm answering the common question that I get is, Sam, why is my product not selling? Now this applies to you if you're selling on third-party platforms such as Amazon or eBay, or even if you are selling from your own e-commerce website. Now even before I get into the tips, one of the reasons why your product might not be selling is because you're not actually putting it on the right platforms. What are the right platforms? I always tell people, sell on as many platforms as you can and just see which ones work for you. I have a couple of videos on Bonanza, and yeah, I know Bonanza is not necessarily the place that gets a lot of traffic, but it might be a place where your particular niche really kicks off and it really generates sales for you. So this is why I always tell people, be open-minded about your niche, about your products, and put them on as many platforms as possible. And if it's not working, then just discontinue using that particular platform. You should be on Amazon, you should be on eBay. Those are where the massive sales are. That's where the traffic is. You should have your own e-commerce website as well, because you could be making use of, building domain authority and all of the SEO tips that I have on this YouTube channel, but also all of the smaller ones as well you want to test out and you want to see, because even if it makes you an extra 5, an extra 10 sales a month, those are extra sales that you never would have gotten if you weren't on those particular platforms. But without any further ado, the first reason I see why people's products are not selling is because they fail to do the preparatory research. Now you shouldn't really even be having any issues with selling your product if you've researched your market properly. I say it over and over again, and I'll continue to say it because it's so true. The better you understand your market, the easier it is for you to sell to them. You should, even before you actually purchase a product at wholesale, or before you even inventory any kind of stock, you should research into the market, see how many competitors there are in the market, figure out whether it's a saturated market or not, figure out whether or not there is scope for you to start selling that particular product or to enter into that particular niche. And if you do your market research correctly, even before you put your products on your website or you list them on Amazon and eBay, you should have a good idea of how many you're actually even planning to sell per month, because of how in demand that particular product is, or because of the particular target group that you have managed to research. Reason number 2 why people fail to sell their products online successfully is another market research thing. Market research has become really boring to people when they're selling products online, and I understand that it's not the most entertaining thing to do, but it's so crucial and it's so essential. If you don't understand your actual customers or who you're selling to, where they spend their time online, where you can access them, where you can market to them, and how you can market to them, that could be costing you sales. And you can literally have products in your inventory just sitting there because you don't understand your customers well enough and you don't know how to get it in front of them in a way that will appease them and in a way that will have them opening up their wallets or opening up their purses and wanting to actually purchase your product, as opposed to the other alternatives on the market or some of your competitors on other third-party platforms. Online is a noisy place, and this is the reason why I started this YouTube channel, sharing these types of marketing tips so you can hopefully put your products and allow them to stand out from the rest of the products on the market. So if you're not understanding your customers, where they're spending their time online, if you're not marketing there, and if you're just leaving your products listed on your website or listed on Amazon or eBay, and you're not actually putting your products in front of the people who care about it, then you're unlikely to actually generate the types of sales that you're hoping for. The third reason is kind of a more basic reason, and that is just your listing in general. Now this doesn't necessarily mean you're listing on third-party platforms. This could be your listing on your website as well. Have you taken really attractive photos? Your description. In your description, you should be as descriptive as possible. Don't leave out any details. Remember, your potential customer doesn't get the opportunity to touch, hold, and get right up and close and personal with your product before they make a buying decision, because they're obviously purchasing it online. So you want to give them as much detail as possible. Your pictures need to be as clear and as crisp as possible, and that's going to help entice and help someone come to a buying decision. Sometimes someone is looking for something very specific, and maybe your product actually does do that, but you've failed to mention it in your description, and as a result that person has bounced off of your website or has clicked off of your listing, and they've gone for another listing which is more or less identical to yours or a similar product to yours, just because you failed to list that particular thing in your description. So you want to make sure that you put in as much description as possible. I do have a video on video descriptions, and I'll leave that in the description down below, so definitely go and check that video out as well. The fourth main reason that I see people failing to successfully sell their products online is because they're in a saturated market. They're literally trying to serve a market that so many other people are trying to serve, and it's so noisy and there's so many solutions to that particular product that it's really noisy, and it's really difficult for you to try and get any kind of search engine rankings in the third-party platforms or on search engines. And you really want to have a diversification strategy or some sort of unique selling point that separates your products from the rest of the products in the market. And if you don't have that and you're in a saturated market, then that could be a main reason why your product is not selling. And that leads me on to my final point, which is SEO issues. Now, this again goes for if you're selling on third-party platforms. I have a video on SEO actually for eBay sellers, and I'll leave that in the description below. I also have a video on how to win the buy box on Amazon, and I'll leave that in the description down below, because that's kind of equivalent, if you're an Amazon seller, to good search rankings on eBay. But also, if you have your own website, have you really done the proper search engine optimization for your product pages? Are you creating content on a consistent basis? Is your website domain authority increasing over time? Are you actually curating content? Are you on social media? Do you have social shares? All of these kinds of stuff is really important. So if you're only watching my videos on a Monday for product tips, then you need to make sure you're subscribed, and you need to make sure you click the bell notification button as well, so you get all of my search engine optimization tips, you get all of my market research tips, and all of these together combined is going to be a force to reckon with when you're selecting what products to actually inventory, when you're listing those types of products on Amazon or eBay, or when you're selling those products on your e-commerce website. And I can share tips about email marketing and how you can actually generate repeat business to your website. So you want to make sure that you're taking those tips and actually putting them into action. So hopefully after watching this video, you can actually identify where you're going wrong with selling your products online, and hopefully you can rectify those mistakes. If you have any particular questions for your particular products, then make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll answer those as best I can. But if this video did help you out, then please click the like button down below, and make sure you share this video with a friend. If you have any additional questions or comments, then leave them for me in the comment section. But until next time, watch some of my other great videos. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more awesome business related content. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.